As Alexander's generals battled each other for control of lands in Asia and Greece, on the other side of the world, a city named Rome emerged as an indomitable power in the region. This warlike people, rooted in a republic, began to conquer regions and nearly acquired dominion over the Italian peninsula. Their expansion reached the gates of Greek colonies along the shores, established by the Spartans and other Greeks. Now, facing the wrath of Rome, a city called Tarentum sought aid and support from the motherland, turning their eyes to the restless warrior king of Epirus. Pyrrhus, after consulting the oracle of Delphi, prepared his army to face the Romans in their land. Like his cousin Alexander, he dreamed of carving an empire in Italy by conquering the barbarians. In 280 BC, Pyrrhus arrived in Italy with an army of 20,000 infantry, 3,000 cavalry, and 20 war elephants to conquer the Roman lands. At Tarentum, he marched to meet the Romans. The Romans, in turn, marched their army to confront the new foe from the Greek lands. Pyrrhus, with his deadly phalanx and war elephants, achieved victory over the Romans at the Battle of Heraclea. After achieving victory over the Romans, Pyrrhus admired the valor of the Romans and attempted to make peace with them. However, the Romans rejected his offer and terms. Pyrrhus then marched his army towards Rome to capture the city itself. However, the Romans, having learned from previous encounters, built a formidable defense to safeguard the city. Witnessing this, Pyrrhus laid siege to Rome, but the Romans, mustering 3 armies, marched to relieve the city. Seeing the strength of the Roman forces, Pyrrhus lifted the siege and retreated to Tarentum. After the winter, Pyrrhus once again marched against Rome, this time at a place called Asculum, where 2 armies faced each other. In this battle, the Romans inflicted heavy damage on the Greek forces. Despite this, Pyrrhus emerged victorious, driving the Romans away. However, upon witnessing the casualties suffered by his own side, Pyrrhus famously remarked, "If we are victorious in one more battle like this, we shall be utterly ruined." This phrase became known as the Pyrrhic victory, symbolizing a victory that comes at a great cost, akin to defeat. After the Battle of Asculum, Pyrrhus received 2 embassies seeking his aid. One was from Macedonia, where Ptolemy Ceraunus had met his fate at the hands of the Gauls, and the Macedonians asked Pyrrhus to return to Macedonia. The other embassy came from Sicily, requesting his assistance in relieving their cities from the hands of Carthage. Hoping to establish an empire in Italy, Pyrrhus chose the second option and went to Sicily. He successfully relieved the cities of Syracuse from the Carthaginians and was proclaimed king of Sicily. Pyrrhus nearly freed all the Sicilian cities from Carthaginian rule, except for Lilybaeum, which he laid siege to. However, the Sicilians paid a heavy price for Pyrrhus's support, and they grew unhappy with his rule, leading to rebellions against him. Witnessing this, Pyrrhus abandoned the siege in Sicily, returning to mainland Italy. Around 275 BC, Pyrrhus marched against the Romans once again. At the Battle of Beneventum, the Romans achieved a decisive victory over Pyrrhus, shattering his dream of carving out an empire in Italy. He was forced to return to Epirus. After arriving in Epirus, Pyrrhus, restless as ever, began to intervene in the politics of mainland Greece. He marched his army against Argos to intervene in the city's disputes, and a fierce fight erupted in the streets. During the chaos, an older woman threw a tile at him, and upon seeing her son fighting with the king, Pyrrhus was knocked down and instantly killed by his enemy. Thus ended the life of Pyrrhus of Epirus, who fought tirelessly as a warrior. Pyrrhus was one of the last greatest generals ancient Greece could offer. He battled the Carthaginians, Romans, and Macedonians with fiery determination, achieving glory and fame that would echo through the annals of history. Once, Hannibal, the great general, was asked about the most famous generals in history. He replied, "Alexander the Great, Pyrrhus, and himself."